Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of the Clueless Internet Podcast. I'm Alex. I'm joined with Howard once again.
Hello.
For another episode filled with facts, our detective skills being tested, and stories of people completely, utterly fucking up. Howard.
Hello.
How have you been since the last podcast?
We literally spent the entire week together, friends.
We sat at work and didn't record the podcast.
No, I did work things.
I want to say a thank you to everyone that listened to the first episode. We got some feedback and it was amazing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
And let's get into it.
Yes.
Sit down and shut up.
Today,
Shut up.
shut up.
Sit down. Be quiet. Shut up.
All right, Howard. So this is our section called Today We Learn. And it is, as the title says, we learn a few things. I've gathered 5 facts for you today, Howard.
Very good.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Well, the first one that I've picked out for you is today I learned about the laser-eyed horse.
Laser ride horse.
Laser-eyed. So,
Laser-eyed
like,
horse.
your eyes?
My eyes.
Yes.
Very
They're
good.
lasers. Well, not your eyes. This horse's eyes. So, this is the laser-eyed horse. This is a fiberglass structure, or sculpture, should I say, outside of the Denver International Airport. So it's right outside the Denver International Airport. It's a very prominent kind of statue if you ever saw it.
Can't miss it.
It was created by
It's a
Louis
glass horse.
Jimenez. I think it's Louis Jimenez. I think that's how you say it. Can you guess what it might look like? Can you guess what colouring? What stance would it be in?
I'm guessing it's on its hind legs.
Yes, you would be right. That's one
rearing?
point.
Is that the word?
Yeah, like you kind of they go backwards
Yeah.
and the hooves go in the air.
Did you say it was made of fiberglass?
Yes.
It was probably see-through. Made of like
Oh,
a steel framework or something?
Okay, you think it's see-through? No, you are wrong. It's a it's a big blue Mustang, and it's bright. Well, it's kind of bright / dark blue. I think the mane's darker.
Yeah.
Or actually no, I think the mane's spiky. I think the mane's spiky all the way
Mohawk
down.
horse.
This looks like a really demonic horse. And the town's people or the city's people nicknamed it Blucifer. Because it's,
Huh?
because it's blue.
Very clever. I like
Very
it.
creative.
Yes.
The Denver International Airport frequenters.
I call it Blayton.
I call it Blue Horse. Big, scary, blue horse. Not red. Big,
All
scary
hail
blue horse.
Blayton.
Blucifer. It stands at 32 feet tall, so it's not a small little thing. It's not, you walk into your shopping centre and there's a little fountain going off, a little statue like that. It's a proper 32-foot high beast, and it's got bright red glowing eyes as well.
Tasteful. Yeah.
Just try to. It was to add a little bit of flair. Now here comes the tragedy of the story. Louis was actually killed at the age of 65 in 2006 when the head fell off.
Oh.
The head fell off. I'm assuming during construction of the whole thing or painting. I think he ended up.
They're
I think he
repairing
finished painting the head. Yeah, he finished painting the head. So I guess that would have been on the top and ready waiting to go to Denver International Airport. But it fell off. And one of the spikes actually cut an artery in his leg.
Oh.
And he died. And this is a 32-foot high horse.
Killed by his own giant horse.
Killed by his own creation. His baby.
Story as old as time.
As I said before, he did finish painting the head, however, so that is all his original work. If you want to go see that, if you're a big fan of him, Louis Jimenez. The sculpture was actually completed with the help of some of the artist's staff, family, and professional race car painters, Camilo Nunez and Richard Lovato. So they all came together and helped finish the piece, when the master himself, Louis Jimenez, could not anymore.
So they lopped his head off.
Yeah, or the horse. Yeah, the horse's head fell off, took him out, and then they had to finish it for him. And now it's there. It's very, very detailed. It's you can see a lot of veins and things around certain areas of it.
Oh. It's neck.
Yes, yeah, sure. One of his necks. Let's get on to our second fact. Is today I learned bees needing all the gossip. All the latest gossip.
Not the pollen.
No, not the pollen.
So that's just a front for them spying.
Oh yeah,
spying
they
on
just
us.
trade that
Very
just
good.
to get an insight into our lives.
I like it.
Well, it's called telling the bees. It's a European custom of telling bees about important family events such as births or marriages. So when someone's born or married,
You're there, bee.
tell your hive I have a new child.
Good news, bees.
There's a new me in town. Yeah, so they get told about births, deaths, marriages. They get told of like every event that happens in. I'm assuming the beekeeper's life, not in everyone's life. That's a lot to keep up with. If not kept up to date, the bees would leave or stop producing honey. This is a belief that they would just up and leave, pack the bags. I'm gone.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe they are. I mean, they're intellectuals. So.
Well, they know all the gossip. They know all the latest gossip. The bees needed to be put into mourning upon a death. There were multiple methods to do this. You could, I think you could tap on the side and tell them the bad news. And there was also, you would put this sort of scarecrow thing up and you would sing to the bees and they would know.
Oh, Marjorie's dead.
I think it was a sprig they used to put up or something of that nature. The bees were obviously invited to the funeral. They can't be told and just left out.
Did they ever turn up?
Well, they'd just bring... I assume that they would just bring the whole box.
We brought some honey.
We brought some extra guests.
It's all we have, really.
If the keeper dies, the bees would be left with the food and drink. So sort of like, you know how you have a wake and there's food and drinks and stuff like that. Have you never been to a wake?
Yeah.
Well, I think the bees would be left. The bees would be left by the food and drink, just so they can have a little snack. I assume during the recession, it can be a lengthy process, and if you've got such a small body, you need to eat as much as you can. Really,
They're probably not the best guests.
no,
Probably not
they make an awful racket.
They're not very talkative. They're just kind of loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, and if you get, if you touch one, that's it. Well, they'd sting you.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Terrible house guest. They actually lifted and dropped the colony at the same time as the coffin. So when they're
Surely
people,
that's going to kill them.
not at the speed. I assume they just make sure that it drops
They
at
just
the same time.
Put it down gently on the floor.
Put it down in the coffin hole.
Yeah.
And then just fill it in. Oh no!
No.
That's all we had. Serious calamity. If the bees weren't told of a death, there was serious calamity.
Bullshit.
There would be hell would break loose here. And these bees would go rampant. So
I'm calling bullshit. This is an old wives' tale. Rubbish.
So apparently, newly married. If you're newly married, have a new home, you must introduce the bees, or their married life will be unfortunate. So if you're married and you get a house and it comes with bees, you have to introduce yourself.
Tell me, does this property come with its own bees?
Yes, it does. Oh, we'll put an offer in.
Perfect.
I can't wait to introduce myself.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. You mean the house? Yes. Yes.
I'm not a pervert.
I just want the honey.
Honey.
For home pleasure, honey. So yeah, if you're newly married, get the bees with the house. You have to let them know that you're there. You have to introduce yourself.
Just coming in your ass.
Or just your married life would be hell,
Well,
basically.
make a mess.
So
Except for everywhere.
the bees can actually, there is a rule where the bees can actually be invited into the household during weddings, and they get a slice of cake.
Can bees eat cake?
I assume so. They've got to have a mouth, haven't they? You've got to have a mouth.
That sounds.
That's just like one of the
ominous.
requirements. How do they breathe if they don't have a mouth? What do they eat if they don't have a mouth, Howard? These are all conspiracies that no one knows about. They don't eat pollen, do they?
No. Yes. No.
Do they? I'm not sure.
They do stuff to the pollen.
I hope it's not eating it because that stuff gets all up my nose and it is very unpleasant. And with
I need to learn more about bees.
we probably do. And with that, I'm moving on to the next fact. The next fact is today I learnt that Barney is both helping and hurting people. It's some of the best.
Barney. That's
Yeah,
awful. That
yeah.
wasn't Barney's voice.
Was that nowhere near?
No.
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 Well, I will just get into the fact. At age 12, Martin Pistorius became mysteriously ill and fell into a coma. So this is a setup. So this is young 12-year-old Martin Pistorius.
Was this the guy who shot someone?
No, that was Oscar Pistorius.
Well, I'm not interested then.
Well, I'm not sure he actually did shoot someone. I don't know the case. Legally,
do go on.
I am not commenting on that. His parents were told that he had some type of meningitis.
Yeah.
Cocal?
I was just reading about how bees make honey.
You're doing some research for later.
I was.
When I buy a house with bees, so I can introduce myself properly. He had a form of meningitis, and all they could do is keep him comfortable until he died. So it starts off. Starts off quite sad.
So he didn't shoot anybody.
No, he just fell ill and fell into a coma. But we're getting to the pain soon. I mean that is a lot of pain already, but we're getting to more pain. It's basically called total locked-in syndrome. You might have heard of it, where sort of you're just
Yes, it's happening right now.
help me. After
dying.
2 years, he did actually wake up, and he was aware of his surroundings, but essentially he was in sort of a vegetable state. It was just sort of he was aware of what was going on, but
I believe
he
the
couldn't
word is a
really do
vegetative
anything.
state, not a vegetable state.
A vegetative state.
He appears to be a vegetable.
A vegetative state. He said, I can't even express to you how much I hated Barney. The hatred encouraged him to regain control of himself. He would try and determine the time based on the sun and shadows. So he'd basically be looking around the room and kind of guessing what time it was based on the shadows, just to like sort of regain control of his cognitive ability.
It's tea time.
Which sounds awesome. Like, he eventually was given a computer at the age of 26 that he could use for speech. So sort of like Stephen Hawking style. You'd be able to type in what you're saying and then it would say it for you because you don't have the vocal capacity at the time. Well, he pulled through his coma and made a recovery after 12 years. He wrote a book published in 2011 called Ghost Boy and married his wife Joanna. And this is where I looked into the true hatred of Barney. Because the Barney theme song was revealed to be used in the enhanced interrogation techniques used by the CIA.
Do you mean the I love you thingy?
Yeah.
I love you, you love me.
Yeah, that song that we probably can't sing for copyright reasons. Apparently it was the most overused song at the time. The creator, Bob Singleton, just laughed when he heard it was being used. It seemed so ludicrous that something totally innocuous for children could threaten the mental state of an adult.
Hilarious!
I would rate the annoyance factor to be about equal with hearing my neighbour's leaf blower. It can set my teeth on edge, but it won't break me down and make me confess to crimes against humanity.
He
Jesus,
said
that guy.
with all of the privilege of a free man.
I would say
I would never break, of course. No.
no.
Not me. No.
Mental
No.
training.
No. Fart. No.
No. How
No.
could I?
Not, no.
Mental
I'm
training.
far too smart for that.
No breaking me. So I looked into a few of the other songs that were used in interrogations, and they go like this. So you've heard this one, "The Real Slim Shady" by Eminem. That gets used a lot
No.
for some reason.
Completely unbreakable. No.
Wouldn't break me.
Wouldn't phase me. Not in the slightest. No.
There's "Bodies" by Drowning Pool, which is the
I love that song.
I could listen to it all day.
All day.
Sesame Street theme song.
Love it. Banger.
Won't break me anytime soon. "Dirty" by Christina Aguilera.
Well, threaten me with a good time.
"Saturday Night Fever" by the Bee Gees. But what about if it's not Saturday?
I'm pretty sure that would work.
The Meow Mix theme, which is essentially just a cat going meow, 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 meow.
Kill me now.
And last but not least, "We Are the Champions" by Queen.
That's offensive.
That would drive somebody crazy.
That is an insult.
Unbreakable. Me.
I am offended.
So, now we know how to torture someone with the most
do you
annoying
mean
songs,
now?
apparently. And we've got an enhanced knowledge of how to torture someone. Let's go
Maybe
into
you have an enhanced knowledge. Oh,
amateur.
yes, quite.
Well, now we've dealt with that. Let's deal with overdosing and cooking to death being banned. Today we learn about this. So during the World War II, Russian soldiers took heat pills.
Already?
I hope so.
One would hope.
This would keep them warm, but also make them lose a lot of weight, even while eating well. So it was essentially just a really good diet pill.
It basically just make your body burn its own energy.
Yeah,
Awesome.
essentially.
And we don't have these now. Why?
Well, apparently it spikes metabolism and potential energy.
Again, why?
To keep them warm. So it spikes your metabolism.
Yes.
Your potential energy is lost as heat.
Yes.
So you just
So
keep
it's all-
yourself warm.
So it's all
but you lose
it's all
a lot
good.
of weight.
It's all up.
There's no
that's literally-
downside.
No, there's no
downside.
no side effects.
Not like
no.
cooking yourself to death.
Perfect.
No downside. Apart from you becoming an internal bloody furnace.
That's what they called me in high school. Sorry,
Internal furnace.
secondary school. I'm not a barbarian.
So it was banned in the weight loss aid. Or it was banned as a weight loss aid, should I say. As overdose can cook people to death. But as of writing this article in 2011,
No evidence for anyone being cooked to death.
I don't know, but I think people must have for them to be warning about it. But in
I
2011,
wanted magic fire pills.
but 2011 it was freely available on the internet.
Oh, very good.
So you could actually get it. 2011, I don't know if it's today.
Well, no. 2011 is not today.
Well, some drugs contain DNP, which is aimed at bodybuilders, also marketed for general weight loss. But somebody was explaining it. Thank you for the information, DNP. If you are into your bodybuilding, you may know what DNP is. For some reason, I didn't write the abbreviation, the proper word.
Good news, I'm not.
Well, somebody, Yobmod, said that it basically uncouples the metabolic process, so food energy gets wasted as heat rather than stored as fat.
I'm sorry, you just said wasted.
Fat. Yeah. Well, it gets wasted.
Not efficiently burnt off.
No, it gets wasted.
It-
Completely.
It's,
Gone.
but
Wasted.
I don't need it, though.
But you do.
But I don't
You
need all of it.
In these Russian
I
winters,
don't need all of it.
you need heat.
Maybe they do.
But I'd recommend that one once we're able to put links in the description. Once we sort everything out, you should definitely read the comments on this Reddit post because some of them are very interesting, very very interesting.
Okay.
You have any final thoughts on that one?
What were the downsides again?
You would cook to death.
But evidence? We got evidence of that. Like people actually like
I'm not sure. I'm not
spontaneously
sure if they definitely
combusting.
have
I'm
evidence.
gonna take that as inconclusive.
You'll have to do a little bit
I'm
of
gonna
research.
find me some fiery beans.
Well, with that, let's move on to our last, but not least, fact. Is today I learned about holographic wills. So not Williams being holographic,
I think I get what
the
you mean.
death
Yes.
kind of will. Unless you're somebody called Will who likes death metal, then you're also a death will.
So this is your last will and testament in holographic form.
Yes. So
essentially.
basically, in 1948, a man was pinned down by his tractor. I'm assuming while he was out collecting tractor things.
While he was in a lustful embrace with
Yes.
his tractor,
With that. Oh.
he tragically crashed.
Oh my god.
have that tractor.
So he scratched in to the side of the tractor. In
Nudes.
case I
Send
die,
nudes.
I'll take them with me. In case I die in this mess, I leave all to the wife, Cecil Geo Harris.
Don't send her the nudes.
Don't send her the nudes. So
P.S. Don't.
he scratched that into the side of the tractor with his pocket knife.
That was a good. How long
good
did he
thinking.
live? How long did he live to scratch all that in?
I don't
He
know.
must have been there a while. He
He must have been there for a good 20 minutes.
Yeah.
There's no way you could scratch that in that fast. Unless you were really frantically doing it so it looked really bad, and that probably didn't say what it said.
Which said, "I'm trapped under the tractor. Help!
If you see my body, I'm just passed out. Grab me.
This really hurts." Oh.
But this was accepted in court, and she got everything. So it not a happy ending, but I'd say
I have a feeling that he was squished rather quickly, and that someone can't remember what the word terminology is for it, but posthumously engraved that into the tractor.
So you think somebody came along
before the authorities arrived?
How would he know his wife's name?
Oh, maybe it was the wife.
Oh my god!
Oh!
We can't open these can of worms anyway. And it served as a precedent ever since for cases of holographic wills. So I did look up at what a few countries' laws are regarding holographic wills. In Bangladesh, they are a privileged will, and only for military personnel who have reached the age of 18 and are currently on expedition. This can be written or told to 2 witnesses. So that's Bangladesh's rule. You have to be in the military, and you can either write it down or tell 2 people. Because if you only told one, then that person could just say, yeah, he left everything to me. He said, I'll sort it out. I'll do all the hard work. Don't you worry, will people. I'll do it.
Don't you worry.
It always come into me anyway, I promise. In Denmark, they call them the emergency testaments, and only if you can write a proper one. And by a proper one, I think it just means it has to be legible and signed and stuff like that. So
not legible. Scrawled in shit on a
because if you found a dead person on the side of the road, you could basically just say, I leave all my possessions to Howard.
But I do.
That's what I do. How has no one caught me? Maryland and New York allow armed force personnel only. And House of Cards actually had one, if you're a fan of House of Cards, in a hotel. But it didn't stand as it was in Washington, D.C. So they'd have a law or they don't have a law in place where it's accepted, so it's not accepted there. And that does it for my facts this week. What did you think?
It's alright.
It was alright?
Yeah.
It was alright. Are you ready to move on to the next section?
No.
3 real and 3 fake.
No.
Let's get into it.
Three real and 3 fake.
Welcome to 3 Real, 3 Fake, the section of the podcast where we put our detective skills. Well, I say we put Howard's detective skills and yours.
My what now?
Your detective skills.
Ah,
Howard.
yes.
You need your Sherlock Holmes mind.
Yes.
You need your cap. Where's your cap?
I don't have one.
I lost it. I can't remember. I couldn't figure out where I put it.
The problem is I'm not really Sherlock Holmes.
I'm Sherlock Gnomes.
Oh, you've been... No. I'll kill myself.
Well, let's get into our first news story. The rules are, Howard has to tell me whether this is real or fake,
True.
and then we find out. And then we find out at the end
False.
how many he and you got right. So
True.
let's start this one off. My first story is a family has been found living in hotel air vents, surviving on kitchen leftovers and guests' mini fridges.
Real.
That one you want to say is real?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out later on. So, a school enrolls sheep to boost numbers and avoid closure. Is that a real or is that a fake headline?
Fake.
That one's fake. Okay. Next one. Dinosaurs not wiped out by asteroid but lack of sex lakes.
Sex legs.
Sex lakes.
Sex
You know, like-
legs.
Sex lakes.
I know.
Just like big
Sex legs.
puddles of
Just
water.
big puddles of water to get the bump uglies and
Yeah.
Gross.
Real or fake?
Did they need ponds to fake?
You want to say fake?
Yeah.
Okay. My next one is kitchen in New York caught using cardboard chunks in their famous New York special dish.
Caught.
We told everyone. It was on the advertisement. Cardboard meal.
We never promised real meat.
I mean, it was never on the advertisement. You just assumed. How poor of you. Assuming mates an ass out of you and me. What are you saying for this one, Howard? Real or fake?
Real.
You want to say real for that one?
Yes.
My next one is, doctor in Australia claims eating cactus spines can decrease the likelihood of contracting HIV.
Completely true, mate.
That one you want to say is true?
Yeah.
And my last one is, mum plans to turn her breast milk into jewellery so she can keep it as a memento. Is that a real or is that a fake story, Howard?
Fake.
You want to say that one's fake?
Yeah.
Howard, I can tell you fantastically, I don't know how you actually did it. You got them all completely wrong. You got them all completely wrong. You guessed them all wrong. Yes! Just what I aimed for. 2 episodes in and I've done it. So, the mum plans to turn her breast milk into jewellery so she can keep it as a memento is real, not fake.
But she is an idiot.
Well, she made a post to a ring-shaming group on Facebook. They kind of give advice and critique people's rings.
Why would you... Why?
Why would you want to critique rings? Some rings are very beautiful, man.
But...
People can enjoy
a
very nice ring.
milk. Ring.
Yes, a ring out
Ring of milk.
breast milk from her
Why?
as for a keepsake.
No.
When she made this post, some people posted, "What the actual fuck?" Somebody else said, "Might as well get a gallstone ring while you're at it. 2 for the price of
Well,
one."
there's cool, and then there's look at what came out of my body. Oh, fuck off!
Oh, true.
Put it away.
Oh no! Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Stuff comes out of my body all the time, and
I don't keep it.
I don't. It goes as far away from me as possible, as quickly as possible.
And yeah, somebody said because you can doesn't mean you should. And
Just because you should doesn't mean you can. Stop it.
yeah, please. I did have a look at multiple sites like Etsy and stuff like that to see who actually does this. A lot of them are usually priced below about $100
Crazy people.
for one of these. The highest priced one that I found was a $699.99 ring made with breast milk.
Stop.
It's time to stop.
It's time to stop.
So,
Yes.
the next one is the family found living in the hotel air vent, surviving on kitchen leftovers and guest mini fridges. That was
true because that was me.
that was fake.
No, it happened.
That
was
they
my
haven't-
family.
They haven't found that one yet. They haven't found you in that one.
Oh, good.
Well, this podcast will
Good.
come out in about
Good.
2 weeks or something. So you've got about 2 weeks to evacuate the area of your belongings.
What do you mean evacuate? I'm not.
I own the hotel.
I live there.
It's my home. Can you
That's
not
my-
see the doormat?
Home.
The next one is school enrolls sheep to boost numbers and avoid closure. Once again, that one was actually real. They did enroll sheep in a primary school in France. There were 261 children at the school, and clearly that wasn't enough, so they enrolled 15 sheep to make up the numbers. To make that up to around 276.
It doesn't make it. But it doesn't make up the numbers. They're not children.
Well,
Oh, jeez. But
well,
we've
here's
just made the numbers up with
Animals.
Here's a dog.
here's a barnyard.
Here's a cat.
I've bought a stick
I'm teaching this cat how to swim.
with my dolphin, who's also a student,
teaching
and my daughter.
This dog how to fish cats.
It's a very round circle of life here at my house
Made up the numbers.
with
This
animals.
garage is a school.
Thank you. There's just a broom in the corner with a face on it.
Ah, yes. What do you call the
Broomy.
vice principal,
Mr.
Barry.
Broom. Barry Broom.
Broom.
How are you today?
I would like to talk about my pay. Jesus fuck. What?
So the local mayor, Jean-Louis Moret, actually made them official students. Jean-Louis
oh.
Moret.
Oh.
French.
Oh.
I think we've just started a war with France. He made them official students.
You mean started? When did it ever start?
They were escorted to the school, enrolled with birth certificates, and given a pen each. They were each given their own complimentary school pen.
You're fucking idiots.
It's a smart way to get free students.
No, it isn't.
The sheep's not
No,
going to know.
it isn't.
The sheep's not going to know.
Stupid.
The sheep might become too smart for us.
Ah, yes.
That's a danger.
Ah, yes. Very good. You made me onto something here.
So,
Yeah.
your next one was, a doctor in Australia claims eating cactus spines can decrease the likelihood of contracting HIV.
I should have seen this one. There are no doctors in Australia. I should have seen this one. I should have seen this one coming, really.
So, yeah, this one was fake.
Foolish of me.
This one was fake. Completely fake. But, we've got our next one, which, again, you also got wrong. You did very poorly on this round.
I'll be the judge of that thing.
Dinosaurs not wiped out by asteroid, but lack of sex lakes is real. That is real.
Bullshit.
It was produced by a controversial professor, Brian J. Ford.
It's bullshit. That's why it's controversial. It's because it's bullshit, isn't it?
Apparently,
It's because it's bullshit.
they needed buoyancy to fuck.
Ah,
And the continental drifts were making shallow
that's what I
lakes.
call it.
And the continental drifts reduced the shallow lakes, so they could no longer go in and bonk because you would start just to sink too much because they're too heavy. And they
It's bullshit.
they weren't shallow enough, so the dinosaurs
It's bullshit.
couldn't reproduce, really.
It was a really cool explosion. It's bullshit.
And he claims
Rubbish.
that if they had still been shallow,
I'm
they would
poo-poo-
be here today.
I'm poo-pooing it. This aggression will not stand.
This is a theory. This is a
Oh,
theory.
it's false, and I'm right.
This is a theory.
Yes, it's false.
Because you can't know for sure. No one can know for sure.
I know. I was there.
But what you didn't
I'm
know,
pretty sure I know. I was there.
what you didn't know was that this kitchen in New York caught using cardboard chunks in their famous New York special dish was fake.
It was actually dinosaurs.
It was actually brought back dinosaurs
It was actually dinosaurs disguising cardboard as
having
meat
sex in little puddles outside
outside of restaurants.
of the
Mate,
New York kitchen.
Fucking chaos, mate. These fucking dinosaurs. It's Stegosaurus. Right? He's moved into the bathroom.
Well, with all this chaos,
I don't know why I'm drunk now.
Let's move on
No.
to Fucked Up World. See you there.
Today, I fucked up.
Well, Howard,
Hello,
welcome back.
da-da.
Welcome back to the Fucked Up World, where today we're going to be reading some of people's biggest fuck-ups on the internet. Are you ready?
Yes.
Alright, so I've got a very special one for you today. It's Today I Fucked Up by taking LSD.
Fuck.
Fucked up.
But did they?
What? You'll find out. You'll find out.
But did they?
You'll find out. You'll find out. Have patience. Have patience.
No.
So, I moved into a new home as temporary sort of thing until I could get the money together to sort something out properly. I was hoping to have already moved out by this point. On my second day, after I'd finished unpacking, I decided to break the house in with a nice acid trip. I brought some with me. I bought some with me in my anger.
Wonderful.
I'd recently bought, but not had the chance to use yet. Things were going well with the trip, but then it seemed to be getting really intense, and I quickly realised that the tabs were much stronger than I had been told they were.
I probably shouldn't have ingested them through my eyes.
That was probably a mistake. My bad. And I thought being locked up in an unfamiliar house wasn't helping me relax. So I figured the best thing to do to relax...
Turns out I was in my neighbour's house the whole time.
You're not my furniture.
How dare you? Don't talk to... I'm leaving.
Get back into couch position. Well, he said
Oh,
that...
sorry, that's my wife.
So he said, I figured the best way to relax would be to go for a stroll, because I was starting to get pretty overwhelmed at that point. So I left the house to start my walk, and my next door neighbour happened to be just arriving at the same time. It's a street of tightly packed terraced houses, so next door's door is about 1 metre away from mine. So he's really close. The houses are proper close. You've lived in a terrace. Have you ever...
Yes. Yes.
You've been
For
to
a
a
few
terrace
years.
house?
Yes. Like, the pretty.
Because it is very, it's very tight.
Oh. But,
I'd not met anybody on my street yet, and I didn't realise this was a friendly, tight-knit community where people talk to each other.
very tight.
Gross. She said something along the lines of, "Hello, nice to meet you. My name's her name."
And then all of her dimensions unfolded in front of me. And I cried.
She later realised I was on the LSD. "Are you new to the area?" So I freaked out and murdered her. No, I'm joking.
Well, wasn't
Not
very,
yet.
It wasn't very funny.
So it does say here, "Oh, hi, my name's her name," just in brackets. I didn't just come up with a fake name.
Beautiful name.
I've never heard anything so lovely. So basically, I do this thing sometimes when people try to sell me things on the street, etc.
Where I just immediately punch them in the face.
Where I pretend I can't speak English. I remember a few words from my GCSE French, so I just say some nonsense sentences and then people usually leave me alone. In the state I was in, this conversation seemed like it would be way too intense for me, and French just sort of came to me as my default response to the situation.
Je suis
Je m'appelle
basket case.
Bonjour.
And all
Bon voyage.
Baguette. Now.
Tea.
Oui.
Oui, oui. My exact words were "Je voudrais un volangerie." Volangerie? French words. One of my favourite lines to use. And I shrugged my shoulders a bit with a weak smile. She pretty much just left me to it after that. and I got on my way. I did my walk and got home about 2 hours later. I was tripping majorly, so the walk ended by taking a lot longer than it needed to be.
Turns
It ended
out,
up taking longer.
I never went anywhere at all. I was standing there staring at her for a whole hour.
For the entire 2 hours.
And that's probably why she didn't...
Probably why she thought I was French.
Yes.
When I got home...
It was completely convincing. I didn't punch anyone.
When I got home through my next door neighbour... Oh, when
I just ran straight through the fucker.
When I got home, though...
Never saw it coming.
When I got home, though, my next door neighbour was stood in my doorway, talking to another neighbour who was stood outside. So she's in his doorway. I tried to keep my head down because I couldn't handle any more human interaction, but she waved at me and said, "Bonjour." So I instinctively returned the bonjour and got inside my house as fast as possible. When I got in, I started freaking out straight away because I realised that I'd just become French, and now 2 of my neighbours think I can't speak any English. I'm trapped, you see, I'm trapped. The next day when I woke up, I realised the best thing I could do as an Englishman
Was surrender.
was throw hot tea.
All over.
Their houses to melt them. They are made out of biscuits, you see.
I live in the land of fairies and wonder. All the houses are made of biscuits. And I murder people with tea.
Very sticky feet. Anyway, the best thing I could do as an Englishman was just live up with the lie for the rest of my short stay in this house to avoid the excruciating embarrassment of having pretended to be French for seemingly no reason. Fast forward 10 months. I still live here, and at this point, I'm too deep.
It's been 5 minutes. 10 months have gone by.
I have grown a single hair on thine chin.
The sun hasn't moved. It's been days for days and days.
I'm French.
A wee. I've done a wee. I don't know where I am. I shouldn't have taken acid
10 months.
or ever left the house.
My life on the street...
40 years later, I still live here.
My life on the street...
Who said that?
Is it me?
Show yourself.
My life on the street is a web of lies. I've perfected my French accent, and over the course of 10 months, French me has learnt a decent amount of English, so he can hold disjointed conversations. I'd gotten to know the neighbours pretty well, and I was the nice, quirky French guy on the street. Do you have a nice, quirky French guy on your street, Howard?
Yes, but I live in France. You see.
So it's very common.
Yeah.
I didn't let the lie slip, ever, because every day and every conversation I had just meant that it would be even worse if anybody ever discovered I wasn't French.
It would just be awful.
If I had friends over who actually knew that I spoke English, if I had friends come over, I don't have many, so it wasn't too bad. They knew to never speak to the neighbours.
Humble brag.
Because of my situation. Most of them found it amusing, at least. Things were going okay, and I wasn't too worried about being exposed anymore. French guy exposed. Because I'd gotten so used to it. I'm not home that much, and when I am, I rarely leave the house for any reason. So I only had to do it for maybe 5 minutes a day when I was out on my street. If anything, it was a nice way to spice up my day when I got to take on my French persona. French me somehow had much better social skills than real me.
Oh, baguette.
Even if his English was a bit limited.
Croissant.
Oui. Bon voyage. Lift.
Merde.
Roof house.
That's not a French one.
But then there was the day it all came crashing down. I was walking to my car and saw one of the neighbours coming towards me from the opposite direction with
And then
someone
he
else next
crashed
to her.
down.
My French failed me. I didn't recognise, so she's with somebody that he didn't recognise. She stopped to say hi, as she normally does. Oh my gosh, I have no where this is going there. And then she says to her friend, "This is F7TJ78. That's his username, I'm guessing. The guy I was telling you about. You might be able to see where this is going."
This is not an android.
No,
Not a robot.
No, it's a person who's speaking
Hello,
French.
pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet. Bonjour, baguette.
I mean, sorry, baguette. Bonjour, and be a murder. There's been a murder. I am the French robot. There has
Beep,
been
beep.
several meteors.
That's just Daft Punk, though.
I didn't.
That's just Daft Punk.
I melted them all. And I am not sorry because I can feel no remorse.
Because I am a
I
robot.
am a robot.
Robot.
My name is Bart, and I am a French robot.
Her friend hits me with a question in French that I didn't understand a word of. And I knew he was actually French straight away because his accent was way better than mine. I didn't know what to do. I just froze. Every second that went past just made it so much more painful. And after way too long of a pause, I just decided I had to come clean. I told her I wasn't actually French and couldn't speak French. And then I tried to play it off like some kind of practical joke I'd just been doing to everyone.
Hated her.
And I'm also insane. Nobody was buying that. I fast walked straight to the car and then let the embarrassment just swallow
ran
me
down
for a while.
everyone and killed them all.
So there were no witnesses. I haven't spoken to any of my neighbours since.
Because they're dead.
Some of which I'd struck up friendly conversations, friendly relationships even, with over those 10 months. So basically no one was speaking to him. Fuck.
Probably.
I make sure nobody is around now whenever I leave the house.
Oh,
And I
masturbate
do a
or do
loop.
anything, really.
And I loop around the block in my car if any of my neighbours are walking down the street when I get home.
With the
So
system
that I
up and
never
the
come into
windows
contact
down,
with them.
screaming, "I don't give a fuck," possibly.
Every time I think about the day I was discovered, the embarrassment physically hurts me.
I've been discovered!
The French!
They found me!
So,
Evacuate!
what did you think of that one? That was a good story, I think. He got himself into a lot of trouble.
Because he's an idiot.
You're an idiot, mate.
They're all idiots this week.
Talking about idiots.
Fucking milk rings and fake French people. I'm not impressed. You need to
Not impressed.
buck up your game. You people do better.
Well, hopefully this one will whet your appetite. Today I
Oh.
fucked up by becoming a kidnapper. Not as a profession, I don't think.
Just as a hobby.
Yeah.
Just every now and again. Just for a few hours.
So instantly the first line has already made me
Perfectly innocent.
very,
Hobby.
very skeptical. So my good friend has a younger sister with Down syndrome. And she has a boyfriend.
I'm out already.
And she has
I'm
a
out.
boyfriend who
I don't
also
want to
has
know
Down.
what's happening. I don't want to know. I know now.
So his friend's sister has Down syndrome. And she has a boyfriend who also has Down syndrome.
Okay, so who's kidnapping who? What's happening?
Well, we'll find out. They are both pretty cool and are able to manage life on their own. So last weekend, they borrowed their family's beach house. And all is good and well until my friend's mom gets
Until
a
they
call.
forgot to put it back.
It's a sister explaining that something happened and things were getting pretty weird. Apparently, they found a troll in the woods who was speaking a weird troll language.
So, taking acid as well.
Clearly, there's a lot of people...
There's a theme.
The theme this week, Howard, I
It's being
handcrafted
off your tits.
handcrafted it with LSD. So
That I've rubbed in your eyes.
they apparently locked him in the shed. They took this strange, different language speaking troll and put him in the shed. The mother and father of my friend thinks it's best that they go out there and see what's going on. When they arrive, the police are there. What actually happened was that they were out in the woods where they saw a German midget couple. Somehow their thought process was to investigate, and they convinced themselves that it was trolls. Well, they captured the husband, who was yelling in German, which they don't understand. The wife ran away and called the police. Fortunately, they didn't press charges, but they were pretty pissed off. My friend's sister told him that no one would have believed they saw it. Believe they saw it troll. So
Excuse me.
Believe they saw
Reddit,
a
get
troll.
your shit together.
Believe they saw a
Got
troll.
a podcast to make.
So they had to
Time is
capture
money.
him. Where's the money, Howard?
I wish I had some.
So apparently they thought they saw a troll speaking a weird language, German, and kidnapped him.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird. Is that a troll speaking German? That's weird.
Kidnap him.
That's very weird.
Very weird.
Very. See what you did there. Very, very, very strange. Maybe we should put him in a shed.
Maybe. A titanium-proof shed.
Don't be stupid. He'll never escape.
So, our next story is the day I fucked up by playing an augmented reality game in 7-Eleven. You know the shop 7-Eleven?
Yes.
He was playing an augmented reality game in there, and he fucked up by doing it. So, I really don't want to shill, but recently I found out on Reddit that 7-Eleven has an AR game
I hate some of the new fucking.
where you get food.
Some of the new.
Oh, you
fucking
get free
language.
food?
I don't want to shill. You should not. I really like this thing. You fucking shill. But I really liked it. Fuck off. You've sold out, mate.
Well, basically, there was an AR game where you were tasked with finding Pokemon and stuff using their rewards app. So you just find stuff and Pokemon around the store with their rewards app, and you got free food apparently, which is a promotion for the Detective Pikachu movie. So this was a little while ago, but this was a promotion for the Detective Pikachu movie. So do I. It's pretty slow and lame, to be honest. But my bank account. Well,
Fine, I won't go say that.
oh, it's pretty boring. It's pretty slow and lame, to be honest. But my bank account is empty, and I'm hungry. So I'm not going to say no to a free slice of pizza in exchange for humiliating myself in a public place by a lame, ad-ridden version of Pokemon Go that only works inside the convenience store.
Maybe you should.
He's very upset about this free convenience store app.
I hate this thing. It's terrible.
Oh
God, that's good pizza.
Good pizza, damn. Anyways,
What a shell!
long story short, I'm walking towards the store, waving my phone around, trying to find the hidden clues in the app, when this angry dad grabs me by the shirt and almost causes me to drop my phone on the ground. Terrified, I push him off, and he starts yelling at me that he's going to call the fucking cops on me. At first I thought he was a
Very particular
shopkeeper.
squad.
Yeah,
The fucking cops.
I'll call the cops.
No, the fucking cops.
The
Not,
fucking cops.
Don't just call in any old fucking cops. No, I want the fucking
You better have
cops.
stamina.
Yes.
At first, I thought he was a shopkeeper who thought I was shoplifting. So, in a broken, low-volume, stuttering tone, I explained, "But I didn't take anything. Look at the cameras. I didn't take anything." He then yells at me to delete the fucking pictures, or he's going to beat the shit out of me. I break away from this beer-bellied hulk and fast walked away from him as he follows me to my car, stands behind my vehicle and refuses to let me leave. At this point, a crowd had gathered to gawk at what was happening. I still didn't know what was going on, so I'm in my car panicking and shaking violently, thinking that this crazy guy is going to kill me, so I decided to call the cops. Right as he's calling the cops as well. Apparently, he thought I was taking pictures of his little boy, who happened to be right in front of me as I was looking for clues on the augmented reality app. This guy saw me alone.
Sorry, but if the store has this shitty feature built in, how do you not walk in there and not be aware of the fact that everyone is on their phone walking around with it 2 inches from their face?
If you're a regular, you probably know, but
But you walk in that shop, and if there's enough people walking around with their phone 2 inches from their fucking face, no one's looking at where they're going.
He hasn't gone in yet, though.
You've got to assume.
He hasn't gone in. He's in the parking lot. because he's right close to
Why
his
was
car.
this kid in the shop? How old's his kid? What? Why did he just leave his kid unattended in the
No,
shop?
he's in the parking lot. They're all in the parking lot.
Oh. What?
They're all in the parking lot.
This whole thing's stupid.
Are you not understanding it?
No, I understand. It's fucking stupid. Oh, fuck these people and their problems.
This guy saw me alone with his boy in one of the aisles. Oh,
This is what you
and
get
thought
for
I was
playing-
sneakily taking pictures of his kids
Why
so they
the
were
fuck
inside.
is your kid unattended in there?
He wasn't, I don't think. Oh, taking pictures
Wait,
of the boy in front
I'm
of me.
so confused. How and when did the boy? When did he get in front of him for him to take the pictures?
No, he just took pictures of him. Let's carry on listening.
No,
So,
I don't want to.
kind of weird that he jumped to that conclusion, but I guess some people must have their own repressed demons that they project onto others. Either that, or he just was plain nuts.
Demons.
As soon as the cops arrive, immediately everybody assumes that I'm the bad guy. It didn't help that I was too shaken.
Me, the bad guy. All in on. No, I was just taking pictures. Oh, goodbye.
I was just taking pictures of your child in the aisle.
Goodbye.
I was only taking pictures
good
of
day,
that
sir.
Captain Crunch. Leave me alone. It didn't help that I was too shaken to know what was going on at first, but after a long time trying to explain my side of the story, the cops finally figured out that it was all a misunderstanding. I don't think the cops ever understood or cared about the app, but they begrudgingly accepted that I was doing nothing wrong after the actual shopkeeper reviewed the security tapes, took my side and explained that it's a Pokemon thing that customers are doing inside their stores. I asked about getting assault charges pressed against the dad, but the cops talked me out of it, saying I shouldn't push my luck. And the dads have a right to be defensive of their children, to be fair.
Yeah, if someone's fucking going for them, if someone lays a hand on them, yeah, by all means jump in and throw them against a fucking wall. But, like...
I don't think I'd want somebody taking pictures of my child either.
But he didn't have proof. Like, the first thing you do is you go over and you grab the fucking phone before they have a chance to lock it or anything. And then, oh, he's playing a Pokemon piece of shit thing. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. What's wrong with me and people and being overly reactionary to everything? Oh, this planet's broken.
So eventually, the cop told him just to play the game elsewhere and to be careful when I point my camera in
Just play the
public.
game elsewhere. I can't. It's for this store. You fuck! Jesus Christ, you're all everyone in this story is a fucking moron.
So he said, just use some common sense unless I want to get
I
beaten to a
can't! I
pulp.
was! You fucked me! I hate you! All of you. You're all idiots. There is no common sense in this story. All of you were overly reactionary or just didn't understand the thing and just was just like blasé. I'll just leave. I don't want to have to deal with this anymore. Which is exactly how I feel.
So he says, kind of shitty thing to hear from a cop, but I guess in the real world, cops aren't fully neutral and impartial.
No, they're people.
They're human beings with opinions
And you know what people
and
are?
biases. Judgments,
People are morons.
just like everyone
Do you know
else.
how I know? 'Cause I'm a people.
I went home looking like the bad guy, and the crazy dad got off without any repercussions for jumping to conclusions and
For
assaulting
having-
a stranger in
for
public.
having a hissy fit. Jesus. Like, what? I'm sorry, but if he was outside the store, what was the kid doing in the store on his own? Why did he let his kid just wander off?
I don't know if
fuck?
he just left him. I've got time for one more story, Howard, and I'm going to give you the honours of picking which one you want to hear. Does that sound good?
Go on in. They can hear me.
So today I fucked up by having sex at a family wedding, or today I fucked up by not submitting my final papers. Both are rather long, so you can pick probably just one.
The finals.
You on the final paper? Yeah. Okay. So I'm currently in my 4th year of computer
Not in
science.
here.
So I'm currently a 4th-year computer science student at a pretty respected university and was looking to graduate this semester. One of the classes I was taking was a class in modern advancements and trends in the field of technology. While the class didn't require too much heavy lifting, it still was a higher level one and required a good amount of work. For our final, our professor had assigned us a 20-page research paper into a current or possible future technology of our choice within the field. I did my paper on helium-3 power generators, which sure.
Yes, I understood every word of that.
I worked my ass off.
Helium-3, of course, yes. My favourite of the heliums, of course. Yes.
Well, helium-2 is just useless.
Quite.
Useless. I worked my ass off.
Fucking peasants.
I worked my ass off on this paper, and in the end was super proud of it. The papers were due last night at midnight, and I held off on submitting my final draft till the end to get it as clean as possible. This is where I fucked up. Big time.
A big time.
It is a big fuck up.
Let's go.
Let me
let's
tell
hear
you
it then.
a little about myself.
No.
I don't work a normal job. I tried it in my first year of school and
I'm
really
a
didn't like it.
Space roof tiler. It's not an ordinary job. It's not easy.
It's honest work.
It's not.
We kill people.
It's all a front.
The tiles are made of bones of the dead people we kill when we tile their roofs.
In space.
So it's fine.
So it's all good. International waters. Space. Void. Vacuum.
Emptiness.
Very good.
I've worked internships when they came up, but outside of that, I really didn't work. This and being a student really didn't mix well, though. So I had to make money some way. For the past 3 years, I've gotten on by writing hardcore erotica on commission.
Oh, yeah, relatable.
Specifically for
Yeah, totally.
furries. I would write anything. Any fetish.
Burn him.
Any premise.
Burn the witch.
Anything.
But I said, burn the furry witch.
In some parts of that community, I became rather popular. At one point, I was making almost $2,500 on Patreon.
Because
along
people...
with
more...
That was coming along with the amount that she charged her customers. She was earning a decent amount off the furry community.
Morons.
Am I proud of this?
Fools.
No. I have written some really disgusting stuff, but it paid the bills and the money was too good to pass up. I told myself...
That's what I told myself every day.
when I sit down and write about a fox's penis.
Yes. Lovely.
I told myself the minute I got a real job, I was cutting and running from this work. Well, this brings us to last night.
But then it turns out that this was the real job.
I had not gotten any sleep for the past few nights. I had multiple projects due that in the span of a few days. I was running on nothing but coffee and Rockstar, which I'm assuming is some sort of energy drink.
It is. You are correct, sir.
Ding, ding, ding. I was nothing more than a walking corpse and wanted to do nothing but sleep. I ended up doing my last read over of my final paper and submitted it before sleeping. However, instead of submitting my final paper, I somehow submitted one of the commissions I was working on.
I have no idea how I did it. No idea at all.
I accidentally mixed final with furry. They both start with F. Give me credit, guys.
It doesn't help that I called it the furry final. Final furry. I have no idea how it happened. There's no idea.
To add fuel to these flames, this commission is not light either. It is almost 10 pages long and contains a variety of things, including vor and scat. So I went to bed.
No.
Submissions for the final
No.
logged, and my academic career was sentenced to death then and there.
Good.
When I woke up this morning, I checked my grades for my final class before noticing an email from my professor.
I'd got an A.
All it says...
He said, "I loved the bit where he got where
Scatty.
that fox got all sketty fox. He's my favourite. I love Sketty Fox. He's so funny."
All it says was to come to his office after class today. I want to fucking die right now. I don't know how I'm going to explain why instead of my final, I submitted a hardcore erotica story with a wolfman jacking off a dragon's stomach. Jacking off in a dragon's stomach? But yeah, I fucked up big time. But that wasn't the end. We have an obligatory update. Well, I just left his office and I still want to die. Not as much though. I took some advice from here and printed my paper out and had it with me. I won't lie, when I sat down with him, I was already almost in tears from the stress and embarrassment. I guess he picked up on that because he tried to be as nice as possible and told me to calm down and just explain what happened. I ran down pretty much everything I said here. While he didn't agree with the avenue I was taking to make money, he understood why I was doing it.
You know, I wrote furry porn once.
A lot of squids, apparently.
Well, back in my day, though, of course, it was much tamer stuff. I can't say
Only fisting.
I can't say I care for this new generation of.
All 5 fingers on your hand.
What's wrong with
up the ass?
What's wrong with good old-fashioned fist? I do not understand.
It is the most Christian way to enter another human being.
One would. Yes.
It is in the Bible.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I'd check that first.
I may have read the wrong book.
No. It is. So you're right. No, yes. It's
Page 69. How convenient.
It's harder to enter heaven through the eye of a needle than for a fox to go and
To fist your
the
ass.
foxhole. I'm so very confused and horny.
Well, he had checked the submissions last night after the deadline, and my submission's name stuck out immediately. It was along the lines of customer commission second draft.doc. I've taken a class from him before and was an A student, so he guessed I had submitted the wrong file on accident. He told me he read the first page.
I cannot masturbate to this.
You're going to have to take it back and rewrite it. I actually like turtles. He said he read the first page and realised it probably wasn't meant for him to read.
But I read it anyway.
And it's very, very
disgusting.
No, you can't have it back, though. I want it for my own personal collection. I keep all of my students' erotica, you see. They're in the back, so no, you can't have it back.
And this...
Oh, it seems like the door's jammed. Oh, it's a bit sticky in there. Ever since I started collecting these. Oh, you want to go home, I think.
This conversation never happened.
Lock the door behind you. You don't want to hear the next part.
Goodbye.
Leave. Thank you. I gave him a copy I bought, and he accepted it. He told me to email him the file, and he would replace the one I had submitted, and that we would pretend this never happened. He seemed to at least have a good sense of humour, as he told me that I had originally submitted was well written. So he said it was well written, as I keep it.
Spelling was a little all over the place, but otherwise a thrilling read.
I was very stuck to the pages, you see.
No, I
couldn't pull myself
couldn't
away.
pull my eyes away.
Or my penis.
My eyes are very droopy.
Like my penis.
Ah!
Now you know my secrets. Get in.
I said,
Get in. Like I said, I still want to fucking die right now. At least he understood that I'm just an idiot and not malicious. Thanks.
Oh.
I guess for the advice and helping me through the nervous breakdown.
At least he admitted it at the end.
Yeah.
I am a fucking idiot.
Well, that's going to do it, Howard. That's going to do it for this episode. Did you enjoy this episode?
I did. I
did.
I was very hot in here, so I'm sorry.
It is quite
It's been
hot
a bit
in here.
quiet. It's a bit. This British summer is killing me.
Oh, don't worry. You haven't been quiet, Howard. You have not been quiet.
I don't know whether to be insulted.
Yes.
Yes, be insulted, you fool.
Yes, dude. Cry. Thank you for listening, guys. We hope that you enjoyed.
No, we don't.
I really enjoyed this episode.
I didn't.
And Everything will be in the description once we get that up and running.
Won't.
Our Twitter,
Because
everything.
nothing works on the internet. God damn it.
Follow us on Twitter at CluelessNet.
Don't. It's
And
foolish.
we'll see you next time.
We won't.
Bye-bye.
Hello.